Hey everyone, Miss B. Hanley here, and today I am talking about esports. I have had experience with esports at the school level in the education world, and both at the middle school and the high school level. I'm going to be focusing mostly on the high school and middle school level of esports because that's what I have the most experience in. So I haven't had that much experience with college level esports, although I am aware of the esports at that level. Esports is competitive video games set up in a similar way to traditional school sports. Essentially, players play against each other through different types of video games competitively in order to win cash, rewards, or prizes, or even a championship trophy. Esports can include live events that audiences can attend and spectate. It also includes live broadcasting with the aid of sportscasters and broadcasting services like YouTube and Twitch. All esports include not only a pro and professional scene online, but esports can also be included in schools both at the college, high school, and middle school level. In its current state, high school esports is pretty much dictated by certain private companies, essentially pay to play in their tournaments. Some of these companies will offer tournaments for free for students to play and win prizes like monetary prizes, scholarships, and even trophies for them to exhibit at their school. You do see a lot of tournaments offering scholarship rewards and recruitment opportunities for esports programs at the college level. However, because the college level esports have become such a prominent figure in the education world, you are seeing a lot of school districts start their own esports leagues that they can manage themselves and perhaps even save a few dollars on joining a league or paying for students to play in a leagued tournament. So at the high school level, it essentially functions very similar to a traditional sport in high school. If you make the team, you are able to essentially get recruited by college level esports programs if they are recruiting at your school, which oftentimes, if you're going through one of these private companies, they do have connections to these college level programs in esports. At the middle school level, you don't necessarily find these scholarship opportunities, mainly because middle school students aren't going into college for the next 4 years. So at the middle school level, I've found that a lot of esports programs are geared toward a more scholastic bent. They're encouraging students to learn about games. What can the games teach us? What can we learn about the industry? And how might we go about pursuing a career in the esports industry? If a student is really interested in learning more about getting into a private league and playing games against other students, you can certainly have the opportunity to join private leagues outside of your school. At the middle school level, I've found that a lot of my focus is not necessarily on competing to win, but competing to learn. Learning not just about the game itself and how to play and how to get better, but also understanding the industry and understanding teamwork. Some of these students are not going to play traditional sports. They're going to play video games. And you do see a lot of students who learn about competition, who learn about teamwork, who learn about communication. And that's one of the biggest things that esports brings to the table for students who are interested in it. It's not just about learning about the industry and learning about the games, but also learning how to work together and how to be a good sport. So the esports leagues that I have researched myself and have some experience with are the High School and Middle School Esports League, Play Versus, Esports Scholar, and the NASEF, which stands for North American Scholastic Esports Federation. All of these leagues offer different things to schools and different games to schools as well. Because the games themselves are not always free to play, it can be difficult to get students involved in games that maybe they don't have purchased, which means that either the school will need to buy a license for that game and an account, or the student is buying the game themselves and creating their own account to play on through the league or through the tournament. The most experience that I have with any of these leagues is the High School Esports League. I found that when I joined the High School Esports League and I set up a team, it was still in its very early stages. There are things that esports leagues have changed over the course of seasons, especially the high school esports league with the addition of the middle school esports league. They did offer free games for students to play. Previously, students had to pay a battle pass fee in order to play throughout the whole season, but they have started offering free tournaments for students who are less likely to pay in order to join a tournament. A lot of programs may offer Title I funds for schools that are in lower income areas, and some will offer discounts and fundraisers for schools to participate in order to make their funds so that their teams can play. So based on my experience with the high school esports league, I do feel like I have a really comfortable working knowledge of how these different esports companies work. Although they do work differently, they do have different features that they offer. Most of them do offer, specifically the High School Esports League, Esports Scholar, and NASEF, all offer educational resources for students to use and teachers to use to help teach students about the different esports features and the esports industry. So, like I said, I haven't worked with all of them. I've only worked with one. While some of them are free, they do have some things that they offer that you have to pay for. If you pay, some of them do offer educational resources for schools and teachers to help students and parents learn about the esports industry, and also to give an educational lens that they can then create their club through, or that they can justify teaching in the classroom. And yeah, it's fun. I'd say that esports is still growing significantly. There's a lot that's going to change, that has changed in the past few years, but I think is going to change even more in the next few years as more and more schools hop on the bandwagon with esports and see the benefits that can come out of it. More stuff that I want to talk about with esports, particularly toxicity versus trash talk, as well as what you can do to get yourself involved in esports at your school or after school. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you want to hear me talk about esports more, about my experience more with esports, or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you down in the comments. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you in class. Bye!